just a conversation about playing the middle linebacker position, about defense, about the way the NFL was and the way the NFL is. So we want you guys to have a lot of fun up here. We'll open it up to some questions in just a little bit. First question I have for the panelists, and please jump in and let's have a free-for-all. The question I've always wondered, middle linebackers, you guys are the leaders, right? You guys are the ones who everybody respects. Are you made or are you born? Have you always been those players who run the team?
Well, I kind of had to grow into it. I mean, I think I was born a leader, but the best thing God had to show me how to become a leader. You know, when you come into when I came in 98, I had William Thomas, James Willis, all those guys. They kind of molded me and he taught me how to be a leader. And we have the great late Jim Johnson helped show me the way also.
I went to college at Arkansas State University. They were still fighting the Civil War because I came in from Western New York, so I had to get tough real quick. But I started out as a fullback, and they absolutely laughed at me. Then from there, I went to a defensive nose tackle. They laughed at me there. From there, they moved me over to a right guard position. In my third year at Arkansas State, they tried me at linebacker, and I was standing up, I was looking around, I could see everything happening around me, so I think that I was made for that position.
Were there linebackers that, when you were younger, that you idolized? I mean, there were some great ones.
Oh, there was a lot of great ones. I think the guy that created the middle linebacking position was Ray Nitschke from the Green Bay Packers. I thought the guy that was the greatest middle linebacker ever to play the game overall was Dick Butkus, and I got to chat with him a couple of times. I would say the guy that was the best with a pass defense middle linebacker was Willie Lanier. The guy that would absolutely play the run the toughest was Tommy Nobis, and then there was a guy from Baltimore that I always said had the best little 6-inch punch, and that was the Mad Dog. You know who he is?
I don't.
Mike Curtis.
Mike Curtis.
The Mad Dog. But anyhow,
Try to get her. How many people have heard of Mike Curtis? There we go.
But I love the middle linebacking position so much that when Marion Campbell came to town and said, we're going to now go to the 3-4 defense, now I can share the inside with Frank LeMaster. I didn't think I'd like it, but it eventually worked out.
How about for you, Trotter?
I watched, mine is fictional. Everybody seen the movie Program? Yeah. what was the guy's name in the program?
I don't know.
Well, you've seen the movie. I remember watching it for the first time, man, and I fell in love with this guy. Just the way he wrote it, the way he was always talking trash. He was in their face, and he was letting the guys know what was coming, and then he was going to do it.
So he was just a wrecking machine?
Oh, man, I mean, I don't use profanity, but, I can cut you at the knees with a whole bunch of other different words.
So really, how old were you when you watched this?
I think I was a junior in high school, and I remember watching that movie every Thursday night before Friday night game. I can tell you every line. I tried to pattern my game after this guy.
To that point, had you played other positions?
I didn't start playing middle linebacker until I was a junior in high school.
What before that?
I was defensive lineman, offensive guard. I didn't start playing football until I was a freshman in high school. Okay. So I got a late start. But I always knew I wanted to be a middle linebacker. I grew up in Texas, so the only team I had to watch, I could watch, was the Dallas Cowboys. I hate them now. And I grew up watching Ken Norton, I just knew from a young age, even when I started playing football, I wanted to play middle linebacker. Because to me, that position meant you was the leader on the defense, you was the toughest guy on the field, and when it was time for a play to be made, you was the guy to do it. I live for moments 4th and goal, but when a team has had a 15-play drive and you got to stand in front of 10 other guys, they're staring at you and they're waiting for you to say something to motivate them to get those guys to play a level above what they're capable of doing. I live for those moments.
How about you, DeMeco?
Kind of similar to Trotter. I started football late in the 8th grade, and they had us watching that same movie, The Program. That movie had us fucked up a lot. Check it out. But I mean, I had to grow into becoming a line. I started out playing center. I was scared to death to play football, so I started out playing center, and I always had to block the middle linebacker. So, you know, one game our middle linebacker was out for like a half. He was suspended. And I was like, Coach, I can play that position. So I had to block him every time. And Coach let me play it. I went in there, and I made every tackle. So I always knew I wanted to play linebacker after that. So I grew up, I watched guys like, you know, Ray Lewis. You watch, you know, Ray's always been a good linebacker. You watch Trotter, not to make you feel old, but watch him. Hey, when you get one of these shirts, you're old. Like I said, when you watch linebackers, they always are in on the play. They're always making the big hits, always the life of the team. So I always enjoy, you know, taking that position.
Can you guys take us through, and the game has changed a lot, the positions have changed. You're an inside linebacker, not a middle linebacker in the 3-4 alignment. What happens from the moment you break the huddle? What are you trained to do? And I wonder, has it changed over the years, the responsibilities that the inside guys have?
Chaos, man.
Yeah.
Sheer chaos. I mean, I played with some guys. I'm not sure how the guys he played with, but you know, everybody got different personalities. You know, you got Devon Curse, he's out pumping the crowd up, and you got to get him in the huddle to get the call out. You got Lito. Lito wouldn't come back to the huddle. So I remember having to run extra sprints just because I had to talk more to get those guys, you know, had to repeat the call 4, 5, 6 times. Then the offense comes out, you got to call a sprint call, lucky rock, because if you don't make the sprint call,
what does that mean to people who might not quite understand?
Well, we always set the sprint to the tight end, which was a running sprint. I mean, the third down would probably be to the 2 receiver side. And the safeties would set the sprint based on the passing sprint, you know. So I would come out and say, lucky or rock, that would get the defensive line set up and the linebackers.
Meaning left or right?
Left or right, right. Lucky, rock. So then, you know, you have to get the play in. So you have to stand there, get the play in, relay it to the guys, make the sprint call, and then you have to, when the offense come out, I can get lined up. And all of these things are happening within a matter of what?
35 seconds?
Right, but once they come to the line, you got to make a sprint call. If they make any movement, you got to switch the whole defense around. If it's a blitz, they switch the tight end. You got to flop the blitz over to the other side. Man, all this got to happen within about 5 seconds.
Now, in today's game, there are many teams that don't have huddles. There's a lot of hurry-up offenses. There's spread offenses. Do you think it's changed a lot over the years, your responsibilities?
I think it has changed from being 4-3 linebacker where you can just set it, lucky rock. Now with these so many different offensive sets, teams line up in empty where there's no running backs in the backfield, line up in 5 wide receivers. So now it's like, where do you set the call? Where is the strength? And we have so many different rules now where we want to set it. Sometimes we may want to go to the 2 receiver side. Sometimes we may want to call to the tight end. Sometimes we want to call to an offset back. Sometimes they give us an unbalanced line. We want to call it to the line. There's so many rules that I have to get with Coach Minter. Like a day like today, I had to get with Coach Minter and see, what extra rules do we have for this week. And our rules change week by week of where to set the defense. If they come out in a certain formation, I might have to check to a blitz or check to a zone play. And all of this is happening, like you said, in 5-10 seconds. So as a linebacker, you definitely have to be smart. That's why I kind of always have to pride myself on knowing where everybody's supposed to line up. Because if I know where they're supposed to line up, I know if they're out of place. And I know it's probably had changed since you guys playing, but defensive linemen cannot hear. They never get the call. Every time it's always that one guy, right? It's always one guy. 10 other people get the call. It's that one guy. I didn't hear him. So, you always have to deal with the defensive lineman not hearing the call.
How do you get the call out from the sidelines? We see coaches holding up signs, new numbers. You've got all these coaches chattering, signaling. What happens?
Well, I wear the headset now. So a couple years ago, you got to know the rules changed. The quarterbacks had the headset, but nobody on defense had it. So now I'm the one person on defense that gets to wear the headset, and our linebacker coach, he sends the call in to me on the headset, which he gets from Coach Davis up in the box, and he sends down to me. Sometimes it's just easier just to get the signal.
Is most of the stuff just worthless and just nothing? It's just used to kind of make sure they don't steal your sign?
Our signals do mean something. And sometimes the offenses go so fast. Now sometimes I may get the call in my headset, but the corner is on the other side of the field, so it's easier for him just to get the sign from the sideline, get the hand signal, and he's ready to play without having to come back to the huddle.
We all talked about Jeremiah playing downhill football, attacking the line of scrimmage, making plays in the backfield. And in Jim's defense, you're able to do that quite a bit, but you also have a lot of responsibilities in pass coverage.
Yeah, you know, obviously everybody knows Jim loved to blitz, and a lot of times I was lined up over the center, and most times I would be the hot dropper. So we brought a strong blitz off the left side. I would drop hot underneath the quick slant route, take away the quick slant, and help the corners out. So, you know, I had to cover a lot, especially in the early age, a lot of man-to-man. And, you know, as you get older, they start trying to let the young guys cover and just let you play football. That cover, that's young man's position right there. So it has changed a lot, man. I think in today's game, I'm actually glad that I'm out of the league now because, I mean, it would be tough. You know, you're going in, you're running full speed, and you're trying to aim at a guy. You know, you take a quarterback, you can only hit him from here to here. And then when he sees you coming, he does this. So now that space, it gets like this. So it would really be tough to try to get those guys down to today's rules. You know,
Tell them how you do it. How have you adjusted your game?
It's tough, man. It's cost me some money, right? All I said is like these guys play back in their time, but you definitely, our tackling drills have changed. It was just like used to be all out just tackling. Now it's like you got to hit the strike zone, you got to aim low. Man, it's like throw a flag on the guys now. They kind of take the fun out of football because as I was taught football coming up as a youngster, it was a physical game. You hit people in the mouth. Now you hit people too high, and that's the fun. So it really kind of messes your game. You really have to alter your game if you want to really you want to keep your money in your pocket. You really have to alter your game and try to aim. You have to try to aim lower. So it's really tough now to play. You know, you're thinking about your hitting, where you're hitting the guy, whereas before you could just go and run through a guy, knock a guy out.
Is that good for the game, though?
I think it's terrible for the game. So, no, I got to tell you, listening, you know, if you get a good shot in, it's going to cost, what, $12,000? 12,500 or something like that.
And you pay well.
Okay, if you're lucky. I got into a real nasty fight with a guy by the name of Conrad Dober. In St. Louis, and let me tell you what, I hated that guy with a passion. And that was a nasty brawl in St. Louis, and we both got kicked out of the game. I got fined $500, and I don't think I'm over it. I was devastated, let alone these guys getting nailed for 12,000 with just an accidental pop. David, I have no idea where this game is going to stop. These guys are so fast and muscular and quick and intelligent, and I mean, we were just a bunch of Nimrods back when I played, trying to make a buck and trying to stay on the team and try to win the game once in a while. These guys today especially, I mean, every camera in the world is on you and they're watching everything that you do. And you know, if DeMeco misses one tackle for a key first down, the arrow in the Philadelphia Inquirer is going to be pointed down because he's a bum and he cost the game. And I mean, the sport day down, I feel so sorry for the guy. I mean, he made a mistake. He even owned up to it for crying out loud. But another reason I used to like to play middle linebacker back in those days, I could be in the middle of all of that crap and nobody would know what the heck was happening.
Bill, you're not attuned to Twitter. You would hate it so much.
But I've got to tell you this about the game, folks, and I am so sincere, and I know that I'm speaking for DeMeco and Jeremiah with this. football to all three of us, it's never a job or an occupation. It's just such a fun, wonderful way of life. I know that Jeremiah, he grew up chopping a lot of wood. I grew up milking cows on the dairy farm, and football gave me my kickstart in life, and I can't say enough good things about it, but it is without a doubt the greatest sport in the world.